Hey guys, I'm Megan Kolb and welcome to 3 Wide Life. We have an awesome show for you guys today as we hang out with a handful of young, diverse, and talented drivers from all around the world that were all nominated to be a part of the NASCAR Next program. To start, let's meet the drivers and learn about how they began racing in the first place.
Now's your opportunity to kind of introduce yourself, take us through your racing history and how you got to this NASCAR Next level.
I started racing when I was 7 years old, racing go-karts, and did that, just racing in the big races. Won the Canadian National Championship when I was 15 in the senior class. That was a big deal for me. And then started doing some NASCAR races. I did a one-off race when I was 17, and then another one-off race a couple years later. In the meantime, I was going to university, so putting school first kind of deal. Sure. And then when that was done, I went out and hunted the sponsorship and got enough to do 4 races. We did pretty well in that season. And then last year did the full season, won Rookie of the Year, won the first race, and now I'm back again for another full season of the NASCAR Pinty Series this year.
NASCAR in Canada, is that the Canadian Tire Series?
So the Canadian Tire Series was 2006 up until last year. Okay. And now it's the NASCAR Pinty Series, but the same series.
What type of tracks? Is it oval, is it road course, is it a combination of both?
It's really cool. I mean, it used to be 5 and 5, which was a neat deal. Yeah. It brought guys like Tagliani, Andrew Ranger, Jacques Villeneuve races with us, so some serious road course guys. Yeah. And now it's 7 ovals and 5 road courses, so we get a solid mix of guys doing both, and guys who are oval guys are now road racers, guys who were road race guys are now good oval racers, so it's a good breeding ground.
Which one do you favor? I'm assuming the go-karts were road course, so yeah. Are you a road course guy, or do you?
I'd like to say I'm a NASCAR guy now, so I can go and run good on a road course and in a short track too.
I don't know. I just have such a passion for this sport. My dad was competing at the highest level of NASCAR when I was born. And I was kind of born into the racing family that the Burtons are, I guess, And I kind of inherited that same passion from my family, and I started racing when I was 4 years old and never looked back. I started in a car called a quarter midget, and it's like a go-kart with a roll cage because my mom wouldn't let me drive a go-kart without a roll cage. It's safety obviously has been a big important thing in my mom's eyes.
Yeah.
I won few quarter midget races, and then the biggest, I guess one of the more influential parts of my racing career was when I asked my mom to go racing for a national championship in quarter midgets, and we're out of North Carolina, and the first race is in Phoenix, and it's all over the country for the whole year.
Sure.
So that was such a huge sacrifice for them to let me go do that, and I ended up winning 3 national championships in 2 years.
Wow.
And then I got my first late model when I was 11 years old, and that was I think that's a few records broken in the age department there. And then I sat on my first pole in my 3rd race at 11, and ran some limited late models, then moved to pro late models, which are a little bit different chassis, a little bit more horsepower, just kind of making another step. And ran some of those races, won some of those races, moved up to super late models, and didn't get my first win for a year in a super late model, but finally came when I was 14, and that was awesome for sure. But I moved from super late models. I've been racing for a good amount of time now, into Canada East this year.
Well, I started when I was 13 years old, and I ran a Bandolero for 1 year and moved up to the Legend Car ranks when I was 14 and 15 years old. Ran that for 2 years, won a world championship, which was pretty big. So that was a cool moment. And then did a couple super late model starts at the end of 2014. The same year I won that world championship in the Legend Cars. And so we were wanting to get up into the bigger cars, ready to move out of the Legend Cars, and did a couple super late model races, and then found myself with making a hard decision if I wanted to run the super late models. And then a team out of Arizona was forming, and there's a team called Gene Price Motorsports, and the 2 crew chiefs were buying the team off Gene Price, and they needed another driver. My current teammate Grayson Raz was already signed up, and they needed a driver to fill the spot, and so they could buy the whole team and everything. So It was a rock and a hard place, and we didn't know what we were gonna do, and we went over down to the shop during Christmas break and ultimately signed the deal and everything, and I ran the season last year, and it paid off. My third race, I won the race, and then I came home with 2 wins at the end of the season and finished runner-up in the points. I was just hoping for a top 10 in points to start the season, and like no stock car experience whatsoever, so it was a really cool moment.